Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And this right here is a great article from Android Police. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. There's a lot of details in this article. So, like I said, I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So, T-Mobile, everything you need to know about the carrier and its services. So, this is a brief company history, subscriber count, and more. And the reason that I wanted to bring this up, I mean, most of you are already aware how T-Mobile was established. Most of you know their background with the LTE, with John and everything, him being the CEO. These are their LTE bands. And then now this is what they're operating on 5G. Most of you are aware of what T-Mobile operates today. Now, what I wanted to discuss, that everything that you guys need to know is the future of T-Mobile is looking, how they kept talking about the new T-Mobile after the Sprint merger, this more supercharged competitive machine and still preaching the uncarrier when they completely did a 360 shortly after merger close. So now we have to brace for a future of T-Mobile's where it can get a little scary and where you can be a little nervous. Because now, what if your legacy plan does go up in pricing, which it's clearly planned? I mean, there's rumors going around, talks are happening amongst RSMs. I mean, it's bound to happen. It's imminent. And I've heard stuff. I'm not going to say it here because it's still not confirmed. And from what I've heard, the price increases are pretty steep for legacy plans. It's more than the $4 that Verizon just presented its customers. So it's pretty steep. And the backlash that could come out of that is higher churn, right? But the issue is T-Mobile allowed legacy customers for so long to be on these very, very cheap plans. And when I say cheap, I'm telling you guys, if you saw at mass scale the type of plans that T-Mobile allowed during like the Simple Choice, the Uncarrier movements, the T-Mobile ones. I mean, I've seen people have 12 lines and pay like $86. I've seen that. There's literally like only 2 or 3 lines that are actually paying, and the other 7 or 8 are free or have some type of 20% insider discount, and T-Mobile allowed all of that to be stackable. And free phones and all of this. And that's just craziness. Most of you really don't get anything free in the US. Just like these customers got free lines, T-Mobile doesn't get free backhaul. T-Mobile doesn't get free equipment and free radios and free labor on the tower crews. T-Mobile has to pay for that. So brace yourselves, especially the accounts that have that crazy type of discount where they're paying $80 for 12 lines or, $120 for 9. I've seen it all. I'm telling you guys right now. I've seen some of it personally sent to me in private messages. I've seen some of it over the years on Reddit. Some of those accounts to this day still exist. And let's not forget about the Sprint plans. Those plans are still out there too, the crazy ones. I think they call it the SWAC account. Like a few years before I went back to Verizon, right? And now I'm on T-Mobile. But before that, I was on Verizon. Before that, I was on Sprint. Sprint allowed me to activate an employee account as a consumer. That's how desperate they were. So they had accounts on the SWAC accounts, I believe that's what it was called, that were discounted 50% lower than the 50% that they were already cutting from Verizon and AT&T. So there's people out there that are literally have like 6 lines on Sprint and they're only paying for 1 line, $35. Like, it's crazy the type of accounts that T-Mobile is continuing to carry on the company. It brings down the ARPU. The average price per user is brought down because of those accounts. Now, T-Mobile has some deals out there like the 55 and then the 40% off the military. T-Mobile is fine with those. But this new leadership team is not okay with all these crazy accounts that have these massive discounts and stackables. That's something that they're trying to correct. And once they correct that, the ARPU will go up, profits, margins, all that will go up. The consumer might suffer, but even if they go up $10 per line, whatever the case, I still don't think they're going to find a better deal on an MVNO for the amount of lines that they have on T-Mobile. Like these $15, $20, $25, $30 per line MVNOs, it would probably still total more than what T-Mobile would increase the price. So they have a tough choice to make as a consumer, but when they do their shopping, they might still see like, hey, T-Mobile is still the cheaper option, right? So, but still, right, for the future, we have to look at T-Mobile like this now. The uncarrier, done. I'm not calling them that no more. Even in the future, if they do make a move that they say is uncarrier-like, I'm done with that. I'm going to say, look, this is just a promotional, aggressive move, right? This is not an uncarrier play. That's 2012, 2013. That's John. That's his thing that he did. He did it great. He brought the company to where they were able to acquire or be acquired. That's something that John did, and they ended up acquiring. I know it was a merger before people comment, but to me it was pretty much just an acquisition. Sprint had no life left. They had debt. They were like net income negative for like 12 years. They made no money. So they had nothing else they had no moves left to make, in my opinion. So, and here you have it, right? Everything you need to know is in this article. Start to finish. How you can contact T-Mobile customer service, all that's in there. But what I'm here to tell you, everything you need to know, this T-Mobile that you guys are used to is no longer here. And I want to make that very clear about this whole language, right? And during the earnings call, we will jealously guard the value play and all of that talk that's corporate spill. That's just, look at their new pricing. Look at their Go 5G Next. That's the most expensive single line plan you can possibly get in the entire industry. Verizon and AT&T do not have a plan like that. Look at the Go 5G Plus. It's right in line with the 5G Ultimate plan on Verizon. In fact, if you don't get any perks, your Verizon lines might be cheaper if you don't select any of those perks. So that's where we are today. It's really the legacy customer, which is probably still about 70 to 80% of T-Mobile's entire base, that's still holding on to those crazy accounts that I'm mentioning. And T-Mobile wants to raise pricing on those. They try to migrate, right? Force migrate to newer plans. That was a negative nightmare, right? A PR nightmare. But T-Mobile might have to suck it up. They might have to bite that sour apple, and they might just have to do it. And if they're going to do it, it's going to be soon. They have to give at least a 30-day notice if price increases are coming. So I want to wait until it's official. I'm hearing rumblings, rumors, stuff floating around, being talked about. But they have to notify you. They got to notify you in the mail, email, text, whatever. Hey, your lines 3, 4, 5, and 6 are going up $10 per line, whatever it is, right? We can speculate in the comments, but this T-Mobile, everything that we used to know about T-Mobile, it's no longer the same. They are now operating a larger scaled network, which means their operations costs are higher, which means they have to bring employees out there. They have to bring retail distribution, which guess what? It costs the company more. As they're building new tower sites in these areas that they've never served before, they got to pay a third party to trench fiber. That's costing them more. So all of that is starting to add up. And that's just me being realistic. I'm being objective. I'm being realistic. I'm not bashing T-Mobile, but the new T-Mobile is now here. The T-Mobile that we won't recognize, the T-Mobile that most of you won't know because your legacy, you don't really pay attention, you're an average consumer. But now you're going to feel the wrath. Once you get that bill and it's an increase, you're going to say, whoa, what's this, right? And I honestly, I think T-Mobile is at the point, right, this executive leadership team, where they're willing to take a churn increase. If everyone else is raising price and their churn's not really above 1%, then what's keeping T-Mobile from not raising price, right? T-Mobile still has all these legacy customer accounts, and their churn was only 3 basis points better than Verizon. And Verizon has been aggressively increasing pricing year after year. Usually in the first half of the year, they have been increasing pricing like the last 2 or 3 years. And then they introduced the My Plan with the removal of the free perks, and now they're making you pay for the perks. So they have done that, and they have still maintained their churn. So T-Mobile feels like now they have the network. They made that $40 billion investment in the first 3 to 4 years, and they feel like now they can do the same. We will see how the base reacts, right? T-Mobile has the most price-sensitive base in the entire industry. I'm here to tell you guys that is just a fact. Verizon has a great base to raise price on, and AT&T, they can get away with it too. Will they experience some churn here and there? Yes, they call it a churn bubble. But for the most part, T-Mobile, now combined with Sprint, because Sprint had a very price-sensitive base too, but they're now combined. So I will tell you guys this to leave off the video. T-Mobile has the most price-sensitive base in the entire wireless industry. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're a little scared and nervous about this new T-Mobile getting into fiber and costs increasing left and right for them, and them now pushing that cost potentially off onto the consumer. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments. Let us know. Like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow the social media outlets for more updates. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.